Hi, COM-231. Today I'm going to be convincing you guys why you should change your car's oil every 5,000 miles. Now, before we start, I want to give off a basic understanding of what engine oil is and what it does. So, according to Pins Oil, a brand of engine oil, it is a mixture of base oil with additives in it. And what it does, it lubricates and protects the engine. So knowing that, why do a oil change if it already lubricates and protects the engine, right? So as you drive your car, eventually your oil deteriorates and it loses its lubrication and its protectiveness of the engine. So here I have an example of my car, which is roughly around 4,000 miles, and a freshly oil changed car. Oil are roughly around 500 miles. So as you see, there's a difference between the colors, right? So this is oil that is already deteriorating. Uh, it is not, it didn't lose its lubrication already, but it still has lubrication in it, but not as much as this freshly 500-mile of oil changed car right here. So understanding why we change because of it loses its ability to lubricate and protect its engine. Now the question is when to change it, right? And according to AA.com, it really depends on the car's age, but normally it is recommended to change every 3,000 miles. Now, if you have a more modern car, let's say like 2010 and up, it is recommended to change every 7,500 miles. Now, you may ask, why are they varying? And then back to what AA says, it's depending on the age of the car. You know, if you have a more older car, like in the 90s and 2000s, you know, they didn't have the technology and the knowledge that we do know now of, you know, preserving and uh, preserving and efficiently running a engine, right? Making the engine run efficiently. So now knowing why we change oil and when to change oil, uh, now what? Now what happens if you don't change your oil, right? So according to Action ActionGatorTire.com, three things will happen if you do not change your car's oil. One, you would your engine your engine will cease. Two, your engine will overheat, and three, your engine will decline in health. Okay. Now your engine will cease because it will not have the lubrication that it needs. Once the lubrication is completely gone, your engine will have friction, and eventually those metal parts will lock up on each other and the engine will cease. Now, two, your engine will overheat. It kind of goes comprehending with the first one, your engine will cease, right? So your engine will normally overheat because friction. Now it doesn't have the lubrication that it needs anymore. Now it's creating friction, right? It's rubbing against each other. Now, what do we know about friction? It creates heat. That's why your engine will overheat, because it's creating friction with metal on metal. Now, the third thing, your engine will decline. Now, what that means is your engine will decline in health. And what that means, it's going to lose its longevity, its efficiency, and its life, basically. So I already explained the first two, right? Your engine will cease and your engine will overheat. That's something part of its engine's life. Excuse me. So now knowing all three of why you should change it, when to change it, and what happens if you don't change it. Why do I recommend 5,000 miles, right? And back to what my example is, you know, roughly around 4,000 miles, right? Um, you know, it's not that dirty, right? You can see it's still kind of, it's not black, like super black or brown, right? So it's not completely deteriorated, I guess you could say, but it's getting there. It's getting to the part where it's getting deteriorated, and it still has enough lubrication over the engine where it's still lubricating very well, where my engine will not seize or overheat. Now, I wouldn't push it to 7,500 because I don't have a newer car. Now, if you have a more modern car, of course, I will recommend you to, um, go all the way up to the recommended of AA of where 7,500, change it there. But if you have an older car like me, I'm in the 2000s. They change it every 5,000, but mine's not that old. Mine's um, relatively, kind of new, but not old. And why I want you guys to actually change your oil around 5,000 miles is because I didn't experience it, but my dad experienced it. He bought a new car back when I was a baby. He skipped all his oil change, and eventually his engine seized, and we lost a lot of money trying to fix the car back up to where it was, in parts and labor too, right? And I don't want that happening to you guys. It's a simple thing in a car. Oil is very essential in a car, so get that oil change. It will save you a lot of money in the end, and it doesn't hurt. Oil changes, maybe $20, $30, at most maybe $50. It's not that expensive. Get it done, get over with, and just let your car. You can drive your car forever if you just do your oil change, basically. And that's why I want you guys to change your oils every 5,000 miles. 5,000 miles is right there in the middle mark of where, like I said, it's still lubricating engine and still protecting, where it's enough. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.